Hello and welcome in yet another Path of Exile farming strategy. Today we are gonna run 50 city square maps using the Harbinger setup. We are gonna run city square because Harbinger is a very closed mechanic. It likes closed small maps, and that's exactly what city square is. The Harbingers are gonna stack on one another so we can optimize time. We're gonna use 2 regular Harbinger Scarabs for just 6 added Harbingers. We're gonna use Harbinger Scarab of Regency, which just adds a chance that we are gonna get a Harbinger boss instead of regular Harbinger. A Harbinger Scarab of Obelisks, which just makes it so that the pillars spawn and they just give you currency. And Harbinger Scraps of Warhordes, this just doubles the currency shards you drop on the ground. We are gonna use this Atlas tree, which basically takes literally all Harbinger nodes, some quant, some explicit map modifiers, and we're gonna pair it with red altars just because my build can do red altars better, and beyond because if you have Harbinger, you stay a lot of monsters that attracts a lot of beyond and so on and so forth. So we're gonna run. We're not taking this node because we're taking this node, and that means that you don't wanna take any beyond node that would add a chance to get a boss or anything related to bosses, because you just cannot get bosses if you take this node, and we don't wanna have Harbinger bosses because the tainted currency is no longer expensive. I am not blocking any mechanics. I prefer to take some scarabs, some more mods, focus on the ambush scarabs, and take some more explicit map modifier. We're gonna use the Harbinger on our map device, and yeah, let's see how the profit goes. And here we are, right after running 30 maps. We've sustained 12 city square maps. We've got some tainted currency, some members. some chaos orbs, some maps. I was actually quite surprised by how many maps, the 17s and 16s and a half, we've got. But yeah, they were mostly dropping from the City Square map boss. And here is the big part. Here is the where most of our currency came from. We've got 2 fracturing orbs. One is like 7 div at the moment. These are pretty much a gamble because you can get like, if I'd get 1 more fracturing orb and any shards, I've dropped 26 shards because one of the fracturing orbs is made out of shards. If any of those shards converted and they dropped as a whole fracturing orb, we'd have like +7 div or -7 div if I didn't drop the other fracturing orb like raw on the ground from Harbinger. We've got some chaos orbs here. We've got some exalted orbs. These dropped just from the Harbingers. There was no like raw exalt and drop that wasn't connected to Harbingers. We've got divine orb and some blueprints. I've priced this and it looks like that. It looks like we have 29 div. This is actually close to the truth, but not really. The most currency comes from fracturing orbs and ancient orbs. It's important to notice that if you're using the ultra strict, the most strict filter on total from filter blade, you should, because on filter blade, if you're using the most strict filter, you're gonna get like stacks of 2 to 3 shards from Orb of Annulment, and you're not gonna see the same stacks of the ancient orbs. So you should swap those because you don't wanna be picking up the like 2-3 shards for the Orb of Annulment, because these are 3.2c and you would like to pick up the shards that are from ancient orbs that are like, each shard is gonna be like 0.4c, something like that, and you're gonna get quite some currency from actually picking the ancient orb shards. I've made a spreadsheet that says everything that was invested, what the profit was. So for the investment, we got 450c for scarabs. This is because like 2 scarabs are each 6 chaos and the rest are 1c. City Square maps are actually quite expensive because lots of people run Ritual, and City Square is the best map for Ritual. Harbinger on map device, this is roughly 3c per map. Profit, we've got 26 div profit from currency, we've got 4 div profit from maps. This is because the wealthy exile cannot price the originator maps. And we've got 120c from blueprints that just randomly dropped on the ground. A real profit, so the profit minus investments, 27.2 div. Time per map, 4 minutes 30 seconds. That is roughly, because I've took the whole recording of the running and divided it, and it was somewhere around 430, 450. But I've decided to go with 430 because I've done some Faustus trading in the meantime. I was in the King's Bars in the meantime. So yeah, total time 2 hours and 15 minutes. Profit per map 0.9 div. This is like, as I said, this could vary because I've done just 30 maps. If you would do like 100, I bet it would be like around 1.1 divine, somewhere around that. Real profit per hour 12 div. So it isn't the best, it is not even close. This is by far the worst in terms of profit. I feel like it wasn't as fun as Strongboxes or Delirium, but I do believe that it was still kinda fun when you saw like 2 dings on the filter and it turned out to be like 4 or 6 the fracturing shards. So yeah, I feel like This was fun, but at the same time, this was not really efficient in terms of profit. So yeah, if you wanna test that out, go on. Thank you for watching.